Greetings everybody. Today we're going to go through the process of programming a locomotive using the NCE wireless system. For today's demonstration I'm using the one that as of 2024 is the most current, which is the PH5-R. When you're programming a locomotive, there are two locations where this can happen. One is on the layout itself, which is called programming on the main, or, which I'm going to recommend, is using a programming track. I'm not a technical expert, but all of the tech reps from the suppliers have recommended that I use programming tracks for this step. So that's what we're going to be doing today. So put your locomotive on your programming track and we will get started. As we go through this process, the end game is going to be what we call activating a long address. Locomotive addresses have two formats. You have short, which is 2-digit, and that's typically what they come with from the factory, and they're typically set up to an address of 3. The other format is a long address, which supports up to 4 digits, and that's preferable because most locomotive cab numbers are 4 digits. So having said that, what we're trying to do here is program the locomotive on the track to a long address. We're going to be using this button here, the program button, to go through the functions. So we do not want to program on the main, we want to program on the programming track. One button push says program on the main. We do not want that. We want to hit program, use program track, hit enter. Then we're going to hit 1, which is standard. And at this point, main off wait just means that it's trying to locate the locomotive on the programming track. This is totally normal, so just let it do its thing for a moment. So it found it. Hit enter. Decoder version 88. Hit enter. Now we're starting to get to the important stuff. It says the current active address is in short format. The next line says set up address. We do want to set up an address, so we're going to hit 1. The short address is 3. We will just leave it at that number. So we're going to hit enter. This is an important step. It says activate this address, which is the short address. We do not want to do that. Hitting enter will scroll us to the next step. We do not want to hit 1, we want to hit enter. Set up long address. 6012 is the cab number. I've already programmed it to that because it's my test locomotive, but let's just say for the example we wanted to change that number to something else. So we would just enter that in. I'm changing it to 1234, and you hit enter. Another important step, we want to activate this long address. So we hit 1, and we're done. The set CFG is now moving on to a phase which we are not going to do. We can just, when we hit 1 before, we were wrapping up the process. So to get out of this mode and just get back to throttle mode, we're going to hit program escape 2 times, I believe. And you will notice that with NCE, it does you a favor, and the throttle is already set up to 1, 2, 3, 4, so we can run that locomotive right away. So that's it in a nutshell. What we're trying to do is activate a long address, and just remember you hit enter if you want to scroll to a next step.